friends. Welcome to my not a sewing video, vlog, whatever this is. I'm Emily, your hostess. I don't really like my intro. Do you like my intro? I think it's kind of meh. I've been watching other YouTube videos and I'm like, some are really interesting and fun. Some have like little musical interludes and stuff. Not that I have any clue how to do any of that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to better start my videos. So, I thought about I could slide in and be like, it's your hostess with the mostest, Emily the sucky seamstress. That seems really high energy. And what if I don't have high energy that day? I don't have high energy today. And this is not my mug, just in case you're wondering. This is actually Handsome Hubby's mug. Now, Handsome Hubby does not drink tea. Handsome Hubby thinks tea is a very weird substance that smells amazing until you make it. And then it transforms into something that doesn't taste like it smells. He's not exactly wrong. I mean, really. Tea doesn't tend to taste exactly the way it smells. You have to add buckets of sweetener if you really want it to taste the way it smells. And even then, not exactly. But for people who love tea like me, that's not a problem. But for him, he's like, meh. But he likes his giant mug for hot chocolate and hot cider, and he puts ice cream in it, or I just finished off a giant Coke Zero in his giant mug because it was there and it was clean, which is also key, drinking out something clean. So it's not clean now. I have very low energy today. I am having a not a very good week. You may have noticed that it is Thursday. That's right. I'm actually filming this on Thursday. I am filming this I'm going to mildly edit. I know, you're like, but you don't edit. I know. I actually do edit. I know, it's a shocker. Just prepare yourself. I tend to slice off the very beginning and the very end when I do this to turn it on and off, when my finger comes up and stuff, because I feel like that looks dumb. That's about it. Occasionally there will be edits in my videos, but I usually explain those first, such as I fell down. There was a dog. Someone came to my door. Life happened. Anyway, before I tell you about my week, I'm going to start with last weekend. Last weekend, on Saturday, I went to an amazing event. It was a Regency house party that was put on by the local JASNA group, which is the Jane Austen Society of North America, and the local Washington Regency Society group, who came together to create this Regency house party where they rented out the women's, oh dear, I did it again. I just looked for my phone to look it up, and you are my phone. I am filming on my phone. So it's the Women's Society something. It's like a women's society in downtown Seattle that is for women who have graduated college, and I don't know, you pay dues, and okay, I don't actually know what it is. exactly. It was explained to me. I don't remember. There was a wonderful woman sitting at our table at dinner that explained it all to me. And I think because I was excited and also because handsome hubby was sitting next to me looking oh so handsome, I was very, very distracted. But it's a women's organization. I will find the name. I will put it in the description. The building in downtown Seattle is kind of, I mean, it's like this fairly nondescript red brick building on the outside. But when you go inside, it's like you're transported to this beautiful, kind of Victorian-esque almost uh, interior. It's lovely. I took tons of pictures. I will be posting more on Instagram. I took video. I will be posting more on Instagram. And it was so nice. You were able to either pay for the full day event or just for the dinner and ball. For the full day event, it started at 1, and they had a lecture by Jasna's president, and then there was a recitation by Mr. Collins from Pride and Prejudice of Fordyce's sermons. And then there was an open period where they had tables set up with different Regency era games, or you could wander about the house. It was just beautiful. There were sitting rooms. There was a library. There's beautiful staircases. There's artwork everywhere. Just incredible, incredible place to just roam and look at everything. And then they also served tea and refreshments. And then in the evening there was a dinner, and then a ball afterwards in their little ballroom in the basement. There's a ballroom in the basement. I know that sounds weird. It's kind of the basement of the building, but it's also street level, sort of. It's because Seattle has like streets that go like this. So like part of the main level of the house is up here and the basement is down here, but because the street goes like this, it's also street level down here. So anyway, and the ballroom was lovely. It has like this carpeted area with a dance floor in the center and big, beautiful, look at my pictures. Perfect. And the other thing that's nice about having a whole day event like this is that I was able to wear a Regency day dress during the day and a ball gown in the evening. And it's nice because there are definitely differences. For day dresses, as I've mentioned before, you know, you're covered up to here. Oh my gosh, that's so loud. Alexa, volume 2. I think she's like, no, me. No, me. Me. Goodness, the dot is taking over. You're covered, all your décolletage, everything is covered up to here. You're also covered to your wrists. And then when you're going outside, of course, you're going to have your bonnet on because and your bonnet and your gloves because you're not going to want the sun to touch you. And so me and my friends Melinda and my friend Andrea, who, by the way, let me talk about my friend Andrea for a minute now. Now, she's going to watch this video and she's going to be like, no! Andrea, I'm talking about you for a minute. Andrea is one of my friend followers who I met at the Victorian Heritage Festival, and is now one of my dear, dear friends who is now coming to events with me and whatnot. And I just want to say that I love meeting people and making friends. You know, I've had people ask, you know, why do you make these videos? And, oh, you're not getting 1 million viewers and 1 million followers. And I'm like, that is not why I do this. I'm doing this to connect with people. I'm doing this to meet other customers. I'm doing this to find my tribe. And Andrea is definitely one of my tribe. And I'm hoping to someday be able to travel and come to your events and meet more friends and just expand my costuming friends everywhere, because that's what truly makes costuming and events fun for me. It's not just, I mean, the making, as you know, is not fun for me. This is not fun. I am not having fun sewing at all. It's the dressing up and the running amok with my friends. And new friend Andrea has been an absolute delight. So, friend Melinda and new friend Andrea came with me, and we all made new outfits for the day and also for the ball in the evening. And we had bonnets, and we went to lunch beforehand. We were supposed to go to tea before everything started, but there was tons of traffic and we ended up missing tea. But we found a cute little like coffee and croissant shop that was very fun and very happy to have us. So that was fun. And then are you pouting? What's going on? Alexa, volume 3. I don't know how people do background video in their videos. I mean, I do, but I don't know how I would do it other than stuff. No, she's not doing it. She just, I fight with her all the time. I don't know what it is. I almost feel like she might have a little like AI in her who gets like, learns to become more like me, and now she's temperamental because I'm temperamental. I think that's a thing. I'm just saying. I think it's a thing. Anyway. I don't remember what I was talking about. We dressed up for the day. I was supposed to go home to change and pick up handsome hubby, but traffic had been so bad all day. I begged him to grab my ball stuff and just bring it to me and him come up. And he, being his wonderfulness, agreed to do that. So, I'm sitting on a little sofa in this little sitting room, chatting with my friends and some new friends that we made, when, you know, I hear some talking in the front entryway. And there stands my handsome husband, all dressed up in Regency, just looking. Now, there were other men there. There's always more women than men at these events. It's just kind of the nature of historical costuming, unfortunately. But there were other men there. But I dare say that handsome hubby was the handsomest there. I mean, he just looks so good all dressed up. And I'll tell you, when he came in and gave me a hug and a kiss, I just watched all these women, and all the rooms are connected. So it's like the sitting room and the library and the games room. I'm watching all these women like lean out and just look at my handsome husband, greeting me, hugging me, kissing me. It was amazing. So, and then the ball that evening, I wore my Penelope Featherington inspired ball gown, and looked pretty good, if I do say so myself. My friend Melinda, though, stole the show. Like, so she had made this white cotton Swiss dot dress to double as her day dress and her evening dress. And she did it a little more, little closer to like the 1820s, the end of the Regency era, where skirts are slightly wider, you know, the sleeves are a little bit poofier, and the waist is just a little bit lower than the Empire waist. Just a little bit. Not a ton. There's a wider band usually under the Empire waist. So, and she had long sleeves for the day, and a fichu, which is basically a cloth that works as your chemisette that covers this area, and this pretty little pink belt. And then for the evening, she took off. They were attachable long sleeves, and she had these short poofed white sleeves, and then she had this silk embroidered Spencer vest with these beautiful like shiny clips and this jewelry, and she had her hair up in these beautiful braids and everything, and this gorgeous tiara, and then these three beautiful big ostrich plumes that came up. And I have ostrich plumes, and I thought about wearing them when she said she was going to wear hers, but I was like, oh, I've had these. I bought them at a costume college many years ago, and I've been afraid to wear them because I'm a kooky person, and I am so afraid I'm going to break them, if they're on top of my head. But she was just graceful and just amazing. And she like floated into that ballroom, and every woman in that ballroom was like, oh, look at those ostrich feathers. Look at those glorious plumes on her head. And when she danced and they like swayed above her head and everything, and her dress swished and yeah, I will tell you, if there was like an award that night for the most like fashionable young woman at the ball, she would have won. If the queen was giving her Diamond of the Season award, Melinda would have been the Diamond of the Season. And if there would have been like a rumor going about as who is like the most fashion influencer of the year, it would have been her. I can pretty much guarantee that next year's ball, hopefully they have it, we are going to see ostrich plumes because everyone was just delighted by them. So the ball was amazing. Lots of dancing. It was really fun too because the dance color encouraged everyone to ask everyone else to dance. So I danced with Handsome Hubby, also danced with this delightful man who told me about English country dancing classes in Seattle, so I need to look into those. I also danced with two of my girlfriends because it is period correct for women to dance with women, because there were, even back in the day, there were never enough men. And so women were always able to dance with women because there were never enough men, and it was just basically considered a crying shame for so many women to be left out the dancing. Sorry, my bra strap is falling down. Do you have that problem? I have that problem. I have really slopey shoulders, so my bra strap's just slowly boop, 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 boop. I spend half my days with them just like down here because I can't be bothered. I know. You're like, what? It just happened to the conversation? I derailed it. That's what I did. Because that's what I do. Okay. On to my crappy week. First of all, fuzzy hair. The weather is going like this. It's like super warm, sunny, awesome day. Super cold, rainy, awful day. Super warm, sunny. And my hair is like, bleh, it's awful. Look at it. It looks like a giant ball of fuzz. It's got its own you know what, static electricity. That's what it is. It's like sticking out on its own. It like sticks to stuff. It's got issues. It's having some problems. Also, you may or may not notice this, but usually I have a dress figure. What are they called? You know, the figures of women that we put, dress form. I got it. I usually have a dress form right here. One of those blue dress forms, an old one. that's been stuffed to an inch of its life and completely maxed out in size and whatnot. Yeah, it's not here because it fell over the other night and completely broke. Like the dials the things got broken off and it caved in and like, yeah. So it got thrown away. Well, it got taken apart so that Handsome Hubby could recycle some of the metal, I guess, or some of it, and then some of it got thrown away. I have a hard dress form that I've been meaning to get I think it's called a bootleg or something like that dress form for, that's like in your size, and then you stuff it, and then you can like, anyway, I've been meaning to do that, but it costs money and takes time, and I just haven't had either of those things. So I don't have a dress form at all, which is problematic because I'm working on a bodice right now for an 18th century bodice right now for a pastoral picnic that I am doing on Saturday. And I really like being able to fit it on a dress form, even if it's not a perfect fit on the dress form, being able to have it there instead of having to always put it on my body. So that is problematic and not fun at all. Also, we hit a new low in the we are poor part of life this week, and I started posting a bunch of stuff for sale on some sites in some groups on Facebook, including some costumes I've made, which I swore I would never ever do. And that is because everything I make is badly made. I am the sucky seamstress. So when I posted them down below, I'm like, by the way, I go by the sucky seamstress for a reason. You know, please note. And I took very clear photos of like, hey, please notice that this is like not well sewn. It's funny, this one dress that I was sure no one would want to buy because it's so badly made, and the evidence of how badly it's made is very visible, went like that. And I realized after the fact, and after like so many people messaged me about it, it's because of the fabric. It was made out of this antique like art silk sari in this antique gold, like ombre gold, so the gold gets like lighter and darker, with embroidered gold flowers on it. Just beautiful. And it was a Regency dress that I had made to just pull on, and I had meant to put like these kind of ties in the side to tie into a bow in the back to just size it. It had never been worn, and I think people saw it as basically like, oh, I can fix that into a smaller size that will look nice and fix all those problems. So maybe people will see some of my other stuff that way too, as like, hey, the fabric's valuable, or I can resize that to a smaller size and fix some of those issues in the process. I don't know. But yeah, I've started selling off a bunch of my costume pieces, and today or tomorrow, I'm posting a bunch of fabric, like a bunch of fabric, like the good stuff, the stuff I've been holding on to. And it makes me cry because some of it I have specific projects in mind for, but I haven't gotten a job and I need to contribute to my household's income. And this is how I can contribute. And sometimes you have to be an adult, Emily, and you have to just do the hard things. That's what I tell myself anyway. I also hold on to things. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a hoarder, but I kind of am. I'm not a hoarder in the sense like the show hoarders where there's like piles of trash to my ceiling and whatnot, but I have more fabric. Like, I have so much fabric. It would, like, if I made 10 costumes a year, I would have to do a lot of math to figure out how many years it would take me to get through my fabric stash. Like, a lot of math. I don't do math. I am also considering selling off a few of my hats because I know they're valuable too. Yeah. The time has come, my friends, to let go of some things. It's hard, but it's time to contribute. It is. It's time to contribute. I also dug out other things. Like, I used to sell this jewelry, paparazzi. You may or may not know it. Ages ago, I mean like several years ago. I have all this back stock, and basically I figured out I'm not a salesperson. Like, I can't I can't go on the lives and be like, look, I have this jewelry, buy my jewelry. I can't do that. So I've been looking into how people like sell off that stuff and to like other people who do sell it and are good at that. Hopefully I can find an avenue for that. And I also came across, I know this is going to sound really weird. I came across my old engagement ring. As you may or may not know, I've been married before. And when I got married the second time, I was only married for slightly over a year. And my engagement ring, I only wore like for a very, very short period of time, like for some pictures when I first got married, because it needed to be resized. And I put it off, and then we were having problems. Well, we were always having problems. I should never have married him. And then we broke up. Well, we separated, and then we got a divorce. And I offered him the ring back, and he was like, well, you bought my ring and I bought your ring. And I was like, yeah, well, this is worth more. And he was like, well, I'm kicking you out of my house, and so you keep the ring, which ended up being a good thing that I kept the ring, because he stole all of my Star Trek Next Generation DVDs. All of them. And other stuff too. Like, after the fact, after I moved out, I realized there was a bunch of stuff missing. And I was too much of a wimp to go back and get it. So, but I've had this because I've always kind of hoped that someday, like, I'd have a friend or a friend with a daughter or someone who was gonna get engaged but had no money, and I could be like, do you like this? Do you want this? It really was never worn. Or just not even tell them the background of it, because I feel like if it was a 20-year marriage, that would be one thing, but it didn't really happen. Not really. My mom calls it the blip, because it was like the tiniest insignificant thing in the history of my life. So I was hoping someday I could just like offer it to someone and be like, here, take this and go have joy. But now I'm thinking maybe I need to sell it. And I know that they don't sell for what they're actually worth, but money's better than a ring that like rattles around in my drawer. I actually found it in the weirdest drawer in my sewing room. Ooh, pause, unpause, unpause. Okay. It wasn't really pause, it was a stop and then a start again, because as we know, my phone, when it gets to like 30 minutes, my phone's like, no, this is too long for a video, so no more video for you, and cuts it off. I'm I don't know why I got into this whole selling stuff. Probably because I'm like staring at a pile of stuff in front of me that I have like am preparing to sell. So anyway, what was I talking about? What I'm working on right now is I'm trying to get this pastoral outfit ready for this event this weekend. A bunch of us are running amok at a park this weekend, dressed in 18th century pastoral outfits. It should be very fun. Along with my skirts. I have 2 skirts, a chemise, a bodice, a hat, and even shoes. I know. You're like, Emily, you're such an overachiever. And I'm like, I know. But there are parts of it that are not finished, so I am like scrambling to finish. But the second I'm done, I have to then freakishly clean my house. So my house is a mess. We know this. My in-laws have just informed us that they are going to be in town next week for a funeral. And that is horrifying because that means that I have to clean my house. And my house has been in spring cleaning mode since, well, like January. And so it has to happen this next week. But I also have sewing that needs to happen this next week. So sure, I can do it all, right? We have complete and total faith in me, right? My parents are in Israel this week in this amazing vacation, texting me all these amazing photos, and I'm just like, yeah, have fun touring the world, everyone else, with your awesome Versailles photos and my parents' awesome photos in Israel. And I have friends who are in Norway right now, posting like these picturesque villages and stuff. And I have, I need to go to there, to somewhere. I need to get out of here. Someone needs to hire me to travel to places and film myself going, this is amazing! This is the best place ever! Because I could do that really, really well. Anyway, and I have allergies that are crazy, probably because of the weather this week. So I have been under the weather, because of my allergies. They are super crazy. Also, my dog is not feeling well. I know I said dog, and you know that means you, huh? Oh, and then he laid back down. Yes, George is not feeling well. We don't know what's going on. I keep forgetting that he is older, because he's my puppy. He's my baby. But I keep forgetting that he's an old dog. So we won't go into that because I don't need to cry on video. It's a hard week. It's a hard week, and it's Thursday. I have a feeling it's just gonna get harder. With maybe a tiny little bright spot as I go to my little event on Saturday, and then it's just going to get harder, and next week's probably going to be hard too. That's okay though. There's got to be a way out of all the hard times, right? 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 Okay, bye. Bye.